Okay, I want to review this movie, Predator. Come on, it's fantastic. It's directed by John McTiernan, who's fantastic, genius. It's got action, comedy. Come on, Predator. Come on. And of course, me, this guy. Look at those biceps. Come on, that's fantastic. Whatever. Okay, yeah, I need a haircut. I got my favorite Star Wars shirt. Whatever. I'm gonna review Predator. I think it's awesome. Well, sort of. I liked it as a kid. It's the kind of movie I remember seeing on like a Friday or Saturday night on TV, like with the ads as a kid. This is the thing. I've seen all these violent, scary movies as a kid. But yeah, I really like it. I think the thing about it, if you haven't seen it, I think it's one of the best sort of monster movies or just sort of action horror thrillers, especially in a unique location like the jungle in this case. I think that's very cool. It reminds me a little bit of Aliens and even Alien in terms of you've got what seem to be trained, military people, soldiers fighting against this thing that just makes easy work of them. But I mean, that's the thing, there's only one predator. What I think is really cool is that the predator itself is just so intimidating and so mysterious, especially at first. Like any good horror movie, it doesn't just show you the bad guy right from the start. It shows you see, first off you get little hints of it, and then it's like you see more evidence of it rather than the thing itself. So for example, there's the sort of it's like there's a whip sound, like the predator vision, and then it's got like a heartbeat sort of rhythm. The rhythm is like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 1 2 3 1, like that. Anyway, it's kind of like it feels like it's meant to be the predator's heartbeat, but it's so strange. It's not human. Your heart shouldn't beat like that. But I'm not trying to read too much into it, but it's just kind of alien. It's weird, and there's this weird kind of music of the infrared. I think as a kid I hadn't seen that before. I didn't know what infrared was, but it sounds fancy. It sounds technical or advanced. It sounds like and it looks like it can see through stuff. All the colors are different. But I guess basically it sees heat. I think it's because anything that's warm will sort of tend to radiate heat. I think maybe black could be different. Maybe, well, I don't know about black. It gives off less light, but it might still give off heat. But the frequency is infrared, which is like light, but we just can't see it with our eyes. It's a lower frequency, a larger wavelength. So like remote controls use infrared, for example, usually. Anyway, so he can see, so we get that vision from his point of view. He walks over, there's like a scorpion he picks up, and that's kind of cool. And then of course when we see the predator itself, is kind of invisible. It's like this weird, and the effects are a little dated, like they don't completely hold up, but the movie works because it's still cool. It's not, if it was brand new CGI kind of effects, see, it's not just the effects, it's how you use it, right? How you build it up. And that's what the movie does well. Like they'll look into the jungle and it'll move around, and then you might just see this little weird outline. You're like, what the hell is that? And there's a part where you see the eyes flash like kind of yellow. And of course his laser thing, I think it's on this side. It's so cool. It just follows his head. It just like blasts through. Again, these guys have crazy guns. It's interesting. I completely forgot that the start of the movie has a part where they fight some people. I didn't completely follow the plot. I guess Arnie, I forget his character's name, Dutch, I think. He gets lied to that it's about saving some people when actually it's got nothing to do with that. It's just, but his friend, they have the big handshake with the big muscles at the start, just bulging. It's just a way to get Dutch to come along because he's one of the best to try to help. Anyway, but they work together pretty well. I like that. Arnie's giving these instructions, like, I don't know what he does, but, it looks like they work well together. I didn't like that sequence, actually. Apparently the second unit director or something, an assistant director, filmed that part, because it ends up just looking like there's an explosion, they shoot, there's an explosion, there's these people run and then shoot, and it's just haphazard. Like, you could completely change the order of the shots. It would make almost no difference. Or it's kind of like maybe this one and this one go together, this one and this one. There's like, they shoot, an explosion, and then, but you could swap it around. It's very messy. But But overall, what it showed, and oh yeah, there's the part where he throws the knife at someone and says, "Stick around." That's funny. It's so stupid. Arnold Schwarzenegger seems to often have those one-liners. I think The Running Man had a lot, but yeah, a lot of his movies. I think he's good at delivering them. I think he's a good actor. When I was a kid, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Robert Williams, and Jim Carrey were my three favorites. When I was like 10 or 9 years old. That lasted for a bit. I still like them. It's funny because I found all three very funny. But also Arnold was in action movies, and some of them are just really good. But anyway, so showing them as soldiers that work well together and they aren't idiots and they can, execute things pretty well. I feel like overall the way they handle it is smart. Like they sort of sneak up on these guys and quietly take them out. That's the thing. You want to delay your enemy finding out that you're even there for as long as possible. Surprise is so important because you can only use it once, basically. And then they know someone's here and they start grabbing their guns and looking and just shooting. But so then the fact that this predator is just effortlessly taking them out, although it seems unrelated, I'm trying to think, do we ever see the predator's ship? I don't know if we do. I can't remember. I know we see it right at the very start. You see kind of a ship and then I guess a pod or a probe come out of it, I think. Anyway, yeah, it's very epic. Some of it's a little weird, like one of the guys kind of freaks out later and just sort of stops. And Arnold's like, "Come on, to the chopper, what are you doing?" And then he just takes his shirt off and then kind of uses the blade. It's like a dagger. I don't know. It's like a big knife. It's not a sword. Anyway. And that looked fake, but like it's just weird. And then he just gets killed easily. I think the predator pulls out like the skull and the vertebrae or something. Some of it was, dark. You see these, because when I was a kid, I don't think I understood, but you see these bodies that I don't know if they've been flayed or something, like the skin's been taken off. And it's, I don't know, did the predator do that? I guess it's implying that, because I think he does it to another. Oh no, one of them is hanging and bleeding, yeah. But I like that. I like movies that could, I like violence. No, I like it when it's ominous and it builds up and it's almost artistic though as well, the way it just pans up a tree and there's something dripping and you see this body. It's interesting. Apparently Jean-Claude Van Damme was going to play the Predator and he was dressed up with this ridiculous costume that looked terrible. I've seen some footage. I think it was red. I think it was meant to be invisible though again, so it would be the outline. But still, it just looks silly. But the one, I think Stan Winston did it. I'm realizing this guy, Stan Winston, probably a few other key people as well. He was involved in so many really good movies. I think Terminator 2, Predator in '87, directed by John McTiernan. I think I mentioned that. Jurassic Park, Aliens. I think quite a few James Cameron movies. I think he did all of those, and the special effects are incredible. And they're such a big part of why they're good as well. If you don't buy the effects, the monster, then it would lose so much. All of those movies of what they are. But anyway, so that part's very impressive. And the Predator himself, when you finally see him, it's like the invisibility stuff starts messing up. I like how he gets shot as well in the leg, and then he's like, he's got all these gadgets, like he's an expert on medicine. And then, I think he yells out or something, makes some loud noise where he patches his leg. It's weird that the guy with the minigun just starts shooting randomly. I thought, hey, what are you doing? Like, I can guess you're freaked out. I guess he did hit the predator, but you would think you want to see something. Maybe try to run in that direction and find it, That's one of the best defenses is a counterattack. So that's the thing. Even if you've got a scary monster attacking you, if you can grab a gun, point it, then it may actually make sense to approach the monster. Because if you can try to get there and see it first and just get a shot in, but just randomly shooting seems dumb to me. But anyway, yeah, the predator itself, it seems to have kind of like fishnet over it, and its skin is like weird, creepy, kind of a bit like a fish as well, like not scaly but kind of slimy. I don't know, weird colors, and of course the mask looks really cool. That it's got like dreadlocks, kind of. I just like its style, and it's huge. I think the guy that played him was really tall. I think he's in the helicopter as well. He has a little cameo. But yeah, like it's holding Arnold at one point and his legs are off the ground. Predator's just standing. That's very intimidating. And then of course taking off the mask. It's all these things with the air and then taking it off. It's just this creepy thing with the mandibles. That's very cool. As a kid, I just thought, whoa, that's so cool. And then I love how it's amazing that Arnold has all this time, Dutch has all this time to set up these. Like you can see, he set up traps and it's like got lots and lots of. How many hours did he have? It's like in The Dark Knight Rises when it's the, he says light it up, and it's got the fire and then this big bat symbol. Like how many hours was he spending pouring fuel or whatever stuff he was using to outline it, you know? So anyway, Arnold's got all these traps set up, and then of course he's lying there, and the predator's coming. He's like, "Come on, kill me, come on!" But the predator's smart and notices. That's so cool. Like, because I hate when characters are stupid. When either the good guys are stupid or the bad guys are stupid, it just ends up lame. But so it's nice when they're both kind of smart, and this predator's like, no, it goes around, and you're like, oh my god. Then luckily there's another one thing above him and he kills him, and then of course the explosion. That's kind of cool. I guess it was like a mini nuclear explosion. And the lady, I completely forgot that the lady's in it, but I guess she survives. She just doesn't really play much of a role. But she's more of a liability. But I guess it's kind of cool that Dutch frees her when it's like, look, our biggest enemy is the predator. We need the more hands we've got, the better. Yeah, so I wouldn't say Predator's like some great film. It's not even, but for its genre, it's one of the best. There aren't that many good monster movies, and I think it's good in terms of just making some good choices, having strong, mostly they're male, mostly men characters that can defend themselves, and just getting slaughtered, absolutely slaughtered by this mysterious thing that we only learn a little bit more at a time. But like Arnold says, if it bleeds, we can kill it. It's that kind of makes it exciting. That it's like a race to see how what is this thing? How can we beat it? They're trying to work it out, and the violence as well. I like it. Kind of gives a bit of flavor to a movie if it's got that. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Maybe spice or zing or something. Like I think one of them just gets stabbed out of nowhere. You're like, what is going on? I wish it was a little bit frustrating at times. Like I wish the woman would have told them more. What did she see? Like a couple of them say, I saw it, but like, okay, what did you see? Like let's, we don't need to freak out. We need to figure out how big is it? What is it? Is it humanoid? Is it invisible? Like is it the forest itself? The jungle itself? Like we need to figure out this could help us kill it, right? And then that's why I like that if we could bleed, that at least that's okay. That's the starting point. If we could make it bleed a lot, we could kill it. The gun apparently hurt it. Guns can work, but then you've got to team up. And then they're trying to escape. It makes sense. I didn't understand why the helicopter couldn't come. I guess they're in a certain area that's like a high warfare zone or something. There's maybe a civil war. I don't know. But I can understand that, but I just didn't get the details. So yeah, I feel it feels like a pretty testosterone kind of movie. Very, I don't know if women like it as well. If you like movies, you can still enjoy it. But anyway, yeah, I think it's very good. I give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. It feels like it could have a bit more substance with, like the characters could have been a bit smarter about trying to beat it. And maybe the Predator's intentions could have been a little bit more clear. Like it was as if it wanted the sport of a fight, so it didn't attack people that that didn't have a gun. So, but I don't know if that's completely sound. Why would it? I don't know if I buy into that. Anyway, yeah, I'll leave it there. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.